Don't ask me my name, please. I feel like
No,
I'm
no, no, it's not
gonna
gonna be that way. Hold
Okay,
it.
good. Where are you going? Right, tell me.
No. Okay, so, good. So this is just for audio sync. All right, so, tell me just a bit about, like, why you got into jewelry and your background real quick.
Well, back in the 80s, gold shot up from $200 an ounce to $800 an ounce. And I thought that was interesting, so I started to speculate with that. One thing led to another, started wholesaling, and then discovered the diamonds. Went to GIA, loved the diamonds, and that's how I got into the business.
And how long has Lucente Jewelers been here?
Well, here, it's been here for about 18 years. Lucente Jewelers has been in existence for about, I'd say almost 30 years, but we were strictly a wholesale company to start with. And then about 19 years ago, we decided to open it up to the public and sell wholesale to the public. That was my idea, and it worked. We kept our place small, kept our overhead small, so that we could, keep our numbers down so that we could pass the savings on to the customers, and it worked.
Expound a little about, tell me a little bit about wholesale and retail and how that works, especially in regards to jewelry and diamonds.
Okay, so when we buy our gold from, let's say we import our gold from Italy, many other places, but when we import it from Italy, we buy according to the gold market, and we buy by the weight, so much per gram. And there is a labor rate that's added on depending on the piece and how difficult it is to make. So in a retail situation, when they purchase that piece, they'll mark it up anywhere from 2 to 3 to 10 to 15 times what they paid for it. We don't do that. If we buy a piece for, let's say, back in the day when gold was trading at $2.50 an ounce, we used to buy at $7.99 a gram. We would sell at $8.99 a gram. Now, we're not making an awful lot of money. A piece would weigh, let's say, 7 grams or 10 grams. Of course, we're making very little money, but we would do it in volume. We sold to the customers and we sold to the jewelers. So, like BJ's, where you sell in volume, we were able to pass on that savings, providing we kept a small store, no bells and whistles here, and everything is simple. And we were able to pass the savings on and make a nice living and grow as a business.
So, does it automatically follow suit that if you go to a high-end store, you're going to pay a high-end price?
Well, I think it's just basic business. If you walk into a place that has a large overhead, for instance, the stores in the mall, just imagine what their rent is, the insurance, the employees, what is that? Anything, all the fees that they have to pay. Someone has to pay for that. They're not going to pay for that, and they have to make a profit. So, yes, all the customer has to do is just look at the place that they're doing business with and see what their overhead is. If they're smart enough, that you can research on the internet. You'll know what the gold market is trading. You can figure out there's 31.1 grams in an ounce. You can figure out exactly what that piece cost, providing you add enough on for the labor rate, $2, $3, $5, $10. Now, rings and earrings, that's a whole different ballgame. That's not sold by the weight. That's all labor, setting all those diamonds, that's very labor intense, so that's it. But I'm talking about bracelets, necklaces, certain charms, certain pairs of earrings. Those are sold by the weight. We can sell them to the customer by the weight.
Why, what did you do before becoming a jeweler? Why did you become a jeweler?
Do I have to talk about that?
No, you don't have to. No.
What did I do before I became a jeweler? You want me to tell him I'm from Great Brook Valley? Is that what you want me to tell him? No.
No, okay, forget it. No, no problem.
You know what? That would be great for some people, and they'd find that interesting. But the snobs of the world would be like, "Really?" And
Okay,
so,
okay,
so
okay.
let's not
Forget
do
it.
that.
No, forget it.
And I was very young, by the way. Listen, if I say 30 years, I don't. Well, actually, it's been. I said 30 years. It's got to be. I've been in business, doing this since I was 25. Oh my God, it's been a long time. 30 years is good. Say 30 years. Let's not change that number. Let's not tell my age.
Well, that's okay. What was it about working in jewelry and working with gold that interested you?
Well, surprisingly, now I didn't know this when I started in this business, but my great-grandfather from Italy was a jeweler. So I think it must just be in me, and I found it fascinating. I liked being able to bring something precious to the public and be able to give them an affordable price so that not just the few could afford these pieces, but that middle class and lower middle class, and could have a beautiful bracelet, a beautiful necklace, a nice pair of earrings, and feel good about themselves. So I enjoy that. I especially love the diamonds. I find it fascinating, and I love to educate my customers on the diamonds. There's just so much to know, and there's so many things that can go wrong with a diamond. It's either a good investment or a bad investment. If you buy it right, and the right shape, and the right color, and the right size, all of these things factor into a good investment or a bad investment. And most jewelers don't bother to tell their customer about the proportions, the size of the diamond and what that means, and show them the wholesale sheet. Rappaport gives us a report once a week of what diamonds are worth wholesale. When I'm buying from a diamond dealer or I'm selling to a jeweler, we both have our Rappaport sheet out in front of us, and we know what we should be paying for the diamond or selling the diamond for. We're all on the same page. They would never show a customer the Rappaport sheet. I bring it right out, and I have the Rappaport sheet right in front of my customer. I explain to them what it is and what the wholesale price is, and a lot of times I'm able to take 10, 20, and even 30% off of the wholesale price, depending on how I bought that. But there's more to it than just the price. There's the grade, there's the color, there's the proportions. Most customers have no idea about proportions, but when you see all that beautiful scintillation in a diamond, that's because the diamond is well cut. The depth is a certain percentage, the table is a certain percentage, and customers should know that. And if it's not right, then they should get a considerable savings on that diamond. If they only have a certain amount of money, but they want a big size, okay, well, they have to sacrifice cut. And they can do that. I'm not a snob, I'm not saying they have to buy a perfect cut diamond, but they're gonna know that they bought a diamond that was maybe too deep, and they made a savings doing that, but in the return, they may not get as much for their diamond. Okay, Mark, I need that hair back on.
Okay, cool. No,
Well, I wanted to stop
Talked enough
anyway.
for a while.
no,